watching a television show and you really want to get that in, but you also know that you need to get your workout in. So I'm going to give you a couple of things that you can do in this little space right in front of your TV. And of course I've moved things back a little bit so I have a little bit more space, but I'll try to keep it something that you can do in a small area of space. So here we go. First thing you can do, small area of space, is march and warm up those legs and get your heart pumping. First things first, right? All right, now we can add a little bit more onto that real quick. Arms overhead, pull the knee up. Still a really small amount of space. You can do this in a hotel room in that little minuscule area in between the bed and the wall, right? All right, then we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to bring heels to glutes and get the backs of our legs working. And we're going to do those three things again. Here we go, back to that march. And back to arms overhead and knees up. I don't even have shoes on. And let's go back to those heels to glutes. Hamstring curls. This is your get it done workout. You can certainly do this in little increments. I'll give you little groups of exercises to do. So you can push play, do a few of these things, push pause, wait for the next commercial, and play them again. All right, and back to the center. All right, so we're gonna start. I've got the bench of my couch right here. You probably have an ottoman or a coffee table. I have a coffee table. A laundry bag, there's always a laundry basket, there's always a laundry basket in my living room. All right, so we're going to start with just a little squat. So you can do an air squat in the air, or you can touch the couch. I like the idea of something behind you because then you have to reach for it each time and you know how low you're going. Of course, if I adjust to a different place that's a little bit lower, my squat will be a little bit lower too, but I know I'm being consistent here. And for these, I want my feet straight forward and parallel with each other. For one reason, you can practice that throughout your days, feet parallel to each other. And then also because I'm using the fronts and the backs of my legs on this squat. And I've been going for a little bit here. I'm going to do a few more. And then I'm going to bring it down and hold. I'm going to touch, but I'm not sitting. And just hang out here, make sure my knees are behind my toes, my chest is up, weights in those heels. You can even tap your toes a little bit, and then come all the way up to standing. Now I'm just going to stand and do some leg lifts behind me. So again, I can use the couch or the wall or the fireplace for a little bit of balance. I'm just going to lift one leg back, but keep my shoulders over my hips here. Just a little leg lift back. I'm using glutes, but I'm taking it out to the side just a little bit. If I was standing on an X, I'm pushing back, and that's going to get kind of medial, glutes center, whereas we just did the back with those squats. And again, standing as tall as you can, pushing back with your heel, keeping your foot flexed. And do as many as you can, as many as the support leg will support, and as many till you start to feel that hip and the glute activate and work. So for me, that's probably about 4 more. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And again, if you need to hold on, you can certainly do that if that helps you maintain that center space. But really, I want you pulling your belly button in, holding your body nice and tall. Be prepared for a kid or a dog or somebody to come up and punch or jump on you, right? Nice and strong through your center. Be active in that core engagement. Same thing with that lift. Think about lifting that leg. Think about the weight of that leg every time you bring it up. Shoulders stay over your hips. And let's do about 4 more. Keeping it simple. And bringing it down. Perfect. All right, now we're gonna change it up and just go side to side. So, hands on hips. I wanna stand somewhere about a little side to side area. And I'm gonna come down and step, and come to the center and step. Side to side. This time I want my toes to go out to the side. So now I'm getting a little bit deeper into the sides, getting inner thighs as I come up. Those feet are turned just a little bit different, engaging all the muscles around that leg. And when you step, make sure you step wide enough so your knees are behind your toes. And just lowering down as low as you can go. If stepping here is a balance challenge for you and low enough for you to go, that's great. That totally works. If you can go a little bit lower, great. I don't necessarily advise in these moving ones to go much lower than knee height. And again, you can do as many as you like, as many as you can, until you're fatigued. The little hands at heart center thing just works for me. If you want to keep your hands on your hips instead, that works too. Right, the goal is to keep doing it. Even if you want to do something slightly different, that's fine. Just keep moving. Heart rate's going up too. All right, I'm going to finish off the last 4 here. And I'm within 7 minutes, so what is that? Probably 2 commercials worth. Either that, or if you're doing them during the show, that's probably as long as you get before another commercial, right? So there's one little set for you: squats, leg lifts, and side-to-side plies. There's one little set for you, all legs, all heart rate. I'm going to give you another little set that you can do down on our mat. And of course, you don't have to have a mat. I like to use a mat because of the combination of dog hair and our nice hard surface. But you can certainly do these wherever you've got some floor space. All right, so we're going to come right here into a push-up position with those toes curled under, nice and flat back. You can modify it by coming down to your knees. And we're going to do some push-ups. We're going to change them just a little bit. We're going to do a push-up, and then we're going to come halfway down, and then we're going to come as low as we can and up. So every other one is a half. And a half, and down. It doesn't take very many of these to get fatigue. Do as many as you can. I really like those because they are definitely a good bang for your buck. Just adding that little extra pause in there makes them extra tough. All right, then I'm going to go back to that same position, but I'm going to add legs. I'm going to hold here, and I bring me towards my elbow. Now this is your most challenging per se of this exercise, but you can modify down to your knees and bringing a knee forward. Or if the range of motion for that hip is less, you can do a little lift, right? Adjust. Do something more than just hold your plank, even if it's just for a couple of breaths. We're going to keep doing them for a while before we change. Make it challenging, but still doable with good form. And last 4. 2 more. And bring it back down. And rest. Good job. All right, coming back to that pose. Spreading out those fingertips, shoulders over your wrists. Hold here. Now we're going to do taps out to the side. Tap one foot and then the other. And again, you can do those with your knees. And then we're going to come halfway down. And then we're going to come as low as we can and up. So every other one is a half. And a half, and down. It doesn't take very many of these to get fatigue. As long as you're here in your knees and you're not here, that's not targeting your core. I'd rather you here, all right? Now you can make it a little harder by doing a little plank jack, out and in, or step and step. Either way, choose the one you can do for a while, or try each variation. Let's finish at 4 more. And 1, and come back down. All right, so you've done your push-ups, you've done your plank and knee in, and then you've also done your plank with your side steps. So there's a little combo of 3. Let's flip it over and do another little combo of 3. We're gonna come all the way onto our backs. You can even aim at the television on this one, your show, your movie, and still get something done. Ribs and hips together. I'm gonna reach arms overhead, and I'm gonna reach up to my knees and come back down. Now, as you do these, I want you to think about a couple of things. Relaxing your legs, making your core do the work to lift yourself up. So imagine these muscles right here pulling together, bringing your ribs to your hips. All right, now we're going to challenge them just a little bit different way. Instead of going straight up to our knees, we're going to reach over to one side. So this shoulder comes up, this shoulder stays down. Same on the other side. Still relaxing those legs, using those muscles in your abdominal area to lift up so your legs are relaxed. Use your exhale to lift yourself up. Do a bunch more. All right, let's finish off with 4 more. Last 2. 1 more, but we're not done. We're going to come back to the center for another 4. Just a little bonus. One more. And come all the way back down. Bring your feet in so that they're hips width apart. Arms to your sides. We're going to press up to a bridge. Now you could stay in this bridge if that's enough challenge for you. Hang out here in this bridge. If you can do a little more, lift a leg. If you can do a little more, lift and lower that leg. Hips are staying still on this bridge, and everything's staying parallel. Legs are staying parallel. Your toes point out at your TV and then up at the ceiling. If I'm doing that one leg hold or the one leg lift and lower, I'm going to switch and do the other side so I'm about even. Trying to keep this knee over its ankle. I'm set on fast today, so you can certainly go slower. I'm going to finish off with 2 more. And lower it back down and lengthen my legs all the way out. Third one in this little mini set, I'm going to reach my arms overhead. And then first thing I'm going to do is bring ribs and hips together. Hold them nice and tight so my back's not arching, but rather together. Take a big inhale. And as I exhale, I'm going to bring arms up. And I'm going to roll up as high as I can with my shoulders coming off the mat, keeping my feet down. Reach towards those toes. And then roll back overhead. And then do it again. Think about that vertebrae, rolling one at a time off the ground, reach, 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 and overhead. And then do it again. Now I don't want to bounce, I just want to slowly roll up. You might be able to come all the way up here and reach towards your toes, maybe not. Do what you can do today, slow and purposeful. And exhale, roll it up. you want to get the sensation of rolling up, but you aren't quite there yet, you can certainly bring your hands to your sides and let your elbows push you up a little bit. But I'd rather, honestly, I think you get more benefit out of just doing the half lift and hold than doing the elbow thing. But sometimes you want to just see how that works, getting all the way up, and that works too. Big breath, use your breath. Exhale, lift. Inhale, roll back. Next exhale, lift. Or hold. We're going to do one more, and we're going to have everybody come all the way up to seated. So regardless if you're doing the hold or not, find a way to come all the way up here to seated, because we're going to come back up to standing for our next little set of 3. All right, so for this one, we're going to take hands behind our ears. I call these elephant ears because that's what it reminds me of. We're going to squeeze shoulder blades together right here, and then bring elbows forward and squeeze them back. Create space between your ears and your shoulders. You're using that whole shoulder and squeezing back for that upper back and shoulders on the back and forward, bringing them in. Think about, go ahead and bring your elbows all the way together in the front. Then you activate the front of your shoulder. Still space here between your ears and the shoulders. Stand up tall, top of your head reaching towards the ceiling. Push those elbows back behind you. Bring your hands with you. Open up those wings. And again, do a whole bunch until you feel some fatigue. And then do a few more. And again, what's happening in your center? Your belly button is pulled in. Your center is nice and tight because your arms are moving around and you want your middle to be supported and strong. 4 more here. 2 more. And again. And relax those arms back down. Shake out those arms just a little bit. All right. Now we're going to do some push-ups on the wall. You could do these on the corner of your couch, or you can do them on the ground or the coffee table again. But we're going to do tricep push-ups. So the difference in the regular push-ups are here. Tricep push-ups are here. Our hands are right to our sides, shoulder height, and our elbows brush our sides. And what that does is get right here through your triceps instead of chest and back. You get a little bit of all of them. But hands here, and we're going to lower forward to the wall and then bring it back up. Your back is nice and flat. You're coming forward and back. You can do them wherever you need to, right? The lower you are, the more of you have to lift. Your elbows stay in. Couch cushions are a little extra challenge. Do a bunch. Really use your exhale to push away. Use what you have. Let's try 4 more. And all the way up. All right, and then our third one for this little set is another like do anywhere exercises. Arm circles always reminds me of junior high, being out on the blacktop. Probably elementary school we did these too, but I think of junior high out on the blacktop. Arms out, and we're just rolling in little circles with those arms. And I'm not letting my shoulders scrunch up and leaving them down and back, using my perfect posture. And again, my belly button is pulled in nice and strong through the core. After we go this way for a little while, we're going to switch our direction and go the other way. Again, you can do these little 3 sets all together, like I'm recording them, all as a big set. Or you can break them apart and just do a few, come back to it, do a part. Another way to use this would be if you're working and you need a little 15-minute break and you have somewhere to do that, you have a closed-door office or you work from home or whatever it is that you've got a little space that you can do these. certainly they would work. The standing ones too, you can do out in the parking lot. All right, and hold them right here, and then we're gonna cross in front, really feeling the burn of my shoulders. I'm not sure about you. Bringing them across and over, maintaining that space between ear and shoulder, controlling my movement, feeling the burn, thinking it's really working, I'm getting really strong. When I feel that burn, you know you're doing some work. Let's finish off 4, and 3, and 2, and hold them out, little flaps. On. You can do a few more. Flaps up and down. Woo. I'm almost to the end of my ability here. 4, 3, 2, and done. Bring them down, shake out those shoulders. So there's another little set of 3. Now I want to do some legs and incorporate them all in together. I'm going to use my mat for this one because one of the options I'm going to come down to knees. So it's hands on hips, and we're going to step forward and lower that back knee. Now, this may be challenge enough right here. Perfect. If you can come out to here and stay, go ahead and take hands here and press overhead, and then bring it back down and stand up. I'm going to bring my hands to my sides. Step, hold, and press, and back up. Now we're not weighted, so I want you to think about ribs and hips together and holding the center of your body nice and strong as you do one step and then the other. You could progress this if you've got some soup cans, you've got your resistance band, you've got a couple of weights, you can put those in your hands and that will weight your legs and your shoulders. All right, now we're going to add on a little bit. We've got this one down. Now we're going to do a little bit more. You can do a lunge and hold, and switch, lunge and hold, and switch. Make sure your knees are behind your toes. And I want you to do that little hold because that's a little extra challenge, right? Just changes it up from just stepping and coming back when you add that hold. All right, we're going to progress it a little bit more. You can stay with the option that works for you. If you can do a little bit more, we're going to come all the way to our knee and then all the way up. All the way down, all the way up. And then we're going to change it up one more time. Lots of options. Come all the way down to that knee. Press it up and pull yourself up. Lower back down to that knee and stand up. All the way down. Press up, hold, pull yourself up. Step back and down. And all the way. Here we go. Press it up, pull up, woo, lower down, and stand up. We're kind of stopping in the middle here. And coming back down and up. One more on each side, whichever version of these you're doing. Last one on this side. And all the way down. Heart rate really goes up on those. All right, so then we're going to do a little lunge, a little moving lunge, a little bit more legs. So I'm going to step back and a lunge and hold here, and then I'm going to twist to the side and come back in. It's easier to stand on a railroad track than a tightrope. And I'm just going to twist over that front knee, but my hips and my knees are staying still. All right, we've got a couple of those, and then we're going to switch and do the other leg and do a couple there. Keeping that lower body still, and then I'm going to put those two together. So you can stay on the one side at a time, or you can put them together. I'm going to do that little twist. Back to center, switch legs, and twist. Mixing up the same exercise. Adding a little options. And again, if you can lower that back knee a little bit lower to the ground, not all the way to the ground on these because we do want that isometric hold. Let's do one more on each side. Whoa! Balance challenge for sure. All right, there we go. Last but not least, we're gonna do some calf raises. Just coming up to our toes. And I've got my little bit of a step here in the fireplace that I can use to let my heels come a little lower. If you had a stool that you could stand on, you can certainly do these that way, or you can just do them on the ground. You can also switch these up and make them a little more challenging by doing one leg, and you can do that holding on or with the extra balance. Just make sure you do both sides if you do the one leg. All right, and before you know it, you're almost to 30 minutes. Just doing a few things here and there. Got some heart rate work, you got some core strength, you got some upper body work, and you got some leg work, and a real efficient little bit of time here. Last 4 here, and 3. I'm anxious to hear. Let's hold this one right here. And hold it down. When you do this workout, send me a little note and let me know how you use this. Did you do it all at once? Did you like the ability to switch it up and do little chunks of it while you were doing another activity? How did you use it? I'd love to hear that because it lets me know some different creative things to put out there and make this online fit team work for you. So do let me know. But before you go, we need to stretch. So let's go ahead and start by taking arms behind and opening that chest, stretching the fronts of the shoulders, and kind of thinking about what we used. We used our shoulders in all sorts of ways. So we want to stretch through those shoulders. This really gets a stretch to the fronts of the shoulders and also the chest from our 2 different kinds of push-ups. I'm also going to bring hands forward and stretch out my upper back and tops of the shoulders. Separating the shoulder blades. And then I also want to stretch out the fronts of the legs from those squats and lunges. So I'm going to hold one foot. You can do this stretch lying on the ground if it's easier for you. Or you can even put it on, you can even put your foot on a bench or the couch and stretch here if your flexibility here isn't as great. Make sure you do both legs. And then bring it down and just push one foot forward and stretch your hips back, stretching out the backs of your legs. And do both sides. Another one to get is taking one foot back and pushing your heel down so you get the back of your leg, your calf muscle from our calf lifts. You can vary that one a little bit by stepping it forward after you've done a bit and then lowering back down. Shoulders over your body. And then do the same thing on the other side. Pushing that heel down and then bringing it forward, making that little adjustment. You gotta kind of play with your weight, whether your weight's forward or back to get that calf stretch. And then bring it up. All right, the other one that we used is the outsides of our hips. So let's take this leg and bring it behind. Take that same arm and reach it up to the ceiling and then over. Kind of push all your weight into this hip and you'll stretch out your side, body, all the way down into that hip. And if you shift your weight to that back foot, it stretches down the side of that back leg. Do the same thing on this side. Reach tall. Instead of in front, think about reaching tall and over the top of your head. All right. I think we got most of our muscles stretched out. Got in a really good workout. Hope you enjoyed it. And time for me to take a shower. Thank you so much and keep moving, mama.